Hi Chevy, this is just going to be a quick video just to let you know what you need to do for your MyEd. So when you open it up, it's just going to have this simple text box. You don't need to worry about that, so we can just move on. So I need you to complete 15 minutes of reading your Dear booklet. So this is the one that we're doing all of our assessments on. This is the one that you chose to read in class. If you don't have it though, you're more than welcome to go onto Google, look up chapter summaries, look up book reviews, read articles on it so that you can have a little bit more of an understanding of it. So these are some of the things that you need to write as part of your Dear reading. So it's called your journal. So you need to find yourself a scripture. So you need to write down what the scripture is, and then you just need to say why you've picked the scripture. You need to pick a praise and worship song, and then you need to write down what it is, what the song highlighted for you, so why you liked it. Write down a short prayer, and then all you have to do is just comment on what you read. Okay, so we'll just do that for now. We're going to leave everything else just to make it easier on you. So that's all you're going to do is just those things there. Find yourself a scripture, listen to a worship song or a praise song, write down why you picked that song, write down a prayer, and then do some reading of your Dear book, and then just summarize what you've read. Even if you do look on Google and read some of the chapter reviews or read some of the book reviews, you can just write down here what you read and what you found out about your book. So you can do that in a Word, and then you can just send that here. So you can either put it on Word and then you can upload it here, or if you need to, you can write down the answers and you can take a photo of it and put it up. So these are your spelling words for the fortnight. So your spelling test is going to be next Friday, which is the 26th of Feb. So these are your 10 spelling words that you're going to be tested on next Friday. So you need to type them here. So you're just typing out each word so that I know that you've seen those words. So that's all you're doing for question number 3. Question number 4, you have your sound waves unit. So that's here. So what you can do is you can use your textbook. If you don't have your textbook, you can just go through all of the answers here. You can take a screenshot of it, or you can just put your answers into Word. So basically what happens here is, I'm going to move this over so that you can see it. So all you're doing here is for janitor, average, accident, financier, calendar, and circumstance, you're finding out where the A is. So for example, accident, the A is the first sound. So you're going to write first next to accident. In financier, financier, the A is the second sound. So you're going to write second next to financier. Then for calendar, cal and da, your A sound is third. So next to calendar, you're going to write third. So you've got janitor, average, and circumstance. You need to put where, if it's the first sound, second sound, or in the middle, or third, which is also the last. Then what I need you to do, so we're going to go over to question number 8. So question number 8, there is 2 different ways to say practice. One is with a C and one is with an S, and they mean different things. So practice with a C is when you say things like have a practice or do some practice. So it's talking about it in a noun or an adjective. Practice with an S is a verb. So when you say I'm practicing, it is with an S. But you can also say I practice my song. So when you say have a practice, do some practice, you're talking about it as a thing rather than an action. When you're talking about an action is when it's with the S. You need to fill in these blanks with either the practice with a C or a practice with an S. Question number 9. So list words from Unit 2 and 3 are your spelling words from last fortnights, which is on sector, and the spelling words that we looked at above, which are these ones here. So these ones here are the spelling words that you're also looking at the moment. So that's for question number 9. So you just need to fill those words in. So each dash is for one letter. So count the dashes and work out what word you can put in with how many dashes or how many letters the word has. So for these words, you're just looking for the synonym. So the words that is most similar to these words. You only have to circle one. So for camouflage, you've got expose, disguise, or stripped. Disguise would be the best one to circle for camouflage because they are the most similar. So you have to go through all the words and work out which one are the most similar. Then for number 11, you've got to fit on the lines to finish these sentences. So the list words, so we're talking about our spelling words. If you get confused and can't find one of them, that's okay, just move on to the next one. So that's your sound waves that you're going to do. So for your Dear booklet, you've got what's called in the blue corner. Now this is talking about your problem in the book. Now what you have to do is you have to, on one side of a Word document, just write down what one character's point of view of the argument or the problem is. On the other side, write the other character or the point of view of the argument is. You then need to list the 2 main characters. Who are the people that you see the most of? And you have to put them on one side. And then you have to put the other character on the other side. So these are your main characters, the ones that you see the most of. Then it's what's called predicting the outcomes of conflict. So you are going to say how you think your book is going to end. So you have to write 2 ways that your book could end, that your problem could be solved. So for example, if it's 2 friends that are fighting, one outcome can be that the 2 friends make up, they are friends, and that they live happily ever after. The other outcome might be that they don't make up and that they are not friends again. So you can have 2 ways of looking at things. There's a thing called an internal or external problem or conflict. An internal one is when it's to do with a person's character or emotions. So talking about, and usually things that are bad, so things like selfishness, things like anger, things like forgetfulness. So if the problem has to do with the character, the way they're behaving or they're treating someone, it's internal. If it's to do with external or outside, is things like fights, losing something, forgetting something that you need to remember, and that's an external problem. So you just need to say whether the problem's internal or external and why you think it's that. Then you've got to put down which one are your minor characters, which are the characters that are still in your book, just not very much there, and which side they're on. So are they on the character up here? Are they on this character's side, or are they on this character's side? And that's your last question for this page. Your next page is point of view. So in first-person narrations, the narrator is the main character, and usually a main character uses I and me. In third-person narrations, the narrator is not the main character and uses she, he, they, or it. So what you've got to do is you've got to read through all these texts. There's not that many of them, and you need to say if it's a first narration or a third narration, and then you need to say why. So, for example, number 6, my father had a small estate in Nottinghamshire. I was the third of 5 sons. He sent me to Emmanuel College in Cambridge at 14 years old, where I resided 3 years and applied myself close to my studies. So see how this character is using I and my? That means that it is a first narration. So in this first box, you're just going to write first. And then write something along the lines of, this uses the word I and my. And that's your sentence. So, hope this helped. If you need any more help, just direct message me and I'll be happy to help. Bye, Chevy. Have a good day.